Hey, what's up? So I got a Nintendo DS here, which I recased, and I was thinking about doing a video about replacing the case on it, but I didn't really know what I was getting into, so sometimes when that happens, I get delayed and things kind of go off the rails, and the video gets ruined anyway. But I wanted to do kind of a review. I bought in the past, I've bought replacement cases from God of Gaming and from Retro Modding, and so this time I decided to try out something different, and I went with AliExpress. And you know, I figured that the people from like Retro Modding and God of Gaming were probably buying their stuff from Chinese manufacturers in bulk anyway, and so I thought, you know, I could maybe cut out the middleman and buy it directly from a producer in China. And I have to say, the quality of this case is so much lower than both God of Gaming and Retro Modding. It's just kind of like going over it, like it's hopefully I can make it apparent, but so like this face plate right here is transparent. I can kind of see the speakers through that white part. It almost looks as if it were spray painted, or if it was painted, not painted entirely correctly. You can kind of see the paint is like really thin right along there. On this screen, which I kind of goofed up, and so you might see like a scratch or a scuff, you can see the adhesive through that white. So that white border is supposed to be hiding the adhesive that keeps that stuck on, but you can see the adhesive through there. Well, I guess I'll just like keep going. I'll just keep beating this thing up. There is some like case warp right there, and I thought at first that maybe it was I had done the reinstall wrong and there'd be something pressing up against it, but there really isn't. Like when I push in, I don't feel any real resistance. It's just a deformed case. Here's a pretty glaring defect. The paint, the silk screened words on this case, I mean, they're just awful. It's pretty horrible. Like same goes on the back side of this case. Let's see if I can get a good angle with that light. It just is not very high quality. Everything looks kind of fuzzy. It's almost like they took a photograph of what it was supposed to be, added some JPEG to it, and then made the silk screen out of that. You know, it does a lot of the stuff that most of these kits do. It comes with a sticker, it comes with the rubber pads to replace those, you know, and then it comes with the stylus. Also, all of the hardware came with all of the hardware, as well as some rubber pads for the lid. But overall, I'm pretty disappointed in this. You might notice the black buttons and the black shoulder buttons and volume and power slider. I ended up going with that because I was just pretty disappointed with what actually came with this device. There was a lot of just like kind of poor quality control. You know, one of the big differences between how this is made and how Nintendo originally made it is that, you know, for example, like this is like a two-part injection molding. If you flip that over, there's a white part and there's a black part. This is all white, and then these black things are just painted on. A lot of the buttons on this, they had, let's see if I can get, oh, I lost that one. So with like these Nintendo buttons, they have things such as tabs right there, and then cutouts to make sure that you orient it correctly. But on all of these buttons, they left in the little tang right there from the injection molding, and so that was like probably on the sprig, I think that's what it's called, and they just snapped it off. So it's like, to make this fit properly, you have to go through and cut it. With my previous case mods, I mean all of them, there was an element of that, like maybe like a slight like seam that I wanted to cut down, but really nothing that impeded the assembly of the case. I mean, all of the trimming that I did of the plastic was because I don't know, because I wanted to. Like, nothing would have prevented me from assembling it, but these buttons were shipped in such a way that it would have prevented me from assembling them into here properly. So I got it all together. It comes with obviously the plug for the Game Boy Advanced thing. This is gonna kind of turn into a like mini review of the DS. I have to say, it's been like a long time since I have played the DS, and it's here, can I get this so it's all right? That's kind of better. It's been a really long time since I've played the DS, but man, this is it's a fun little system. And even so, I've been playing Professor Layton on my 3DS, and I went in and I beat it, but when I went into the bonuses and I was rewatching some of the movies, what stood out to me is like, it looks a lot better on the DS than it did. Where do I go? I have to go to Top Secret. The videos and everything look a lot better on the DS than they do on the 3DS, and maybe it's just the screen is smaller, so you don't notice the pixels or something. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. Here, I'll give you an example of it. Oh, well, that was kind of lame. They didn't talk or anything. Here, let's do this one. I thought they talked in this. Maybe I'm misremembering it. Anyway, I was thinking about doing like maybe some game reviews. I don't know. I don't have a ton. I had to show a different one because, usually I just show my the greatest game of all time, which is of course, Advanced Wars, which, I have right back there. So, but anyway, I have to say, like, in kind of summation, if you're going to do a case mod, there are cheaper options than like God of Gaming and Retro Modding, but I would 100% avoid buying from AliExpress again. I mean, maybe it was just that one vendor, but to me, it's not really worth going through this whole hullabaloo to get like really an inconsistent product, and one that is just so clearly a lower standard of production. I think all of my other replacement cases could be mistaken for actual like Nintendo products. Anybody, like, if I tried to resell it, I mean, I wouldn't feel right trying to resell this because of just the low quality. But yeah, so again, avoid AliExpress. Go with more reputable vendor. Every once, it's like the middleman gets short shrift a lot, and so they do serve a purpose. And sometimes having somebody that can actually check the product before they pass it along to you is it's worth that extra expense. So thanks so much for watching. Give it a like or something, or subscribe. I don't know. Do whatever you want. And yep, toodaloo.